Going to the first topic of the day, the Powerball is just the stupid tax. That's my opinion. I have enough to back it up. We're also going to get into why the Powerball is possibly a sham. But that all, I'm going to present my position. I want to hear your thoughts before I really present a defense. I think the Powerball is a stupid tax. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I absolutely agree.
Woohoo!
Yeah, this is the rare circle jerk.
Yeah.
Sorry to steal your thunder there, Doug. Yeah, so how many you're without a lack of better term, your upstanding citizens aren't the ones who are exactly going after the Powerball every single time. Now you have the normal folks who will have their one or two tickets whenever it gets like really, really big to the point like the news doesn't shut up about it. And they're like, well, tell you what, I'll buy the $2 ticket. I'll buy the $4 ticket. I'll get a couple, have the office pool. I'll do that.
Right.
It's kind of like it's an event and then you just move about your day. But there's people who habitually just can't stop buying Powerball tickets. They go get their gas, they get their groceries. Like, well, you know what? Let me get a Powerball. Let me go do this here again. And they're just hoping, or the people use the same number every time. It's like a whole. They got it figured out, except for winning the damn thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd agree. It's a stupid tax. You don't. Mark Cuban isn't coming on here going, well, play the Powerball. This is how you get rich, boys.
Mark Cuban might tell you to do it, but Mark Cuban himself is not doing it. No. That's the real takeaway. Absolutely. I love that point. Brian, do you want to make a point on the stupid tax before I go off?
I think it is a cheat code that can't be broken. I think pretty much nobody wins. Yeah. And I like how they share the location of the gas station or grocery store that you bought it from, but I don't know. Like, what do you do if you win? Like, do you share your personal information? Probably not, but you also kind of disappear off the face of the earth. And that's if you win, but nobody wins. So
it's never like a Whole Foods or even a Giant Eagle. It's the shittiest gas station and the shittiest grocery store. It's like a Mark's. For those
that
of you who
wins,
know.
the winners are in California. That's another weird.
Well, they're
thing.
in shitty spots in California.
But yeah, sure. I'll play along. That being said, Brian presents the point that nobody wins. Theoretically speaking, metaphorically speaking. But you know who always wins? I'm going to leave it to the crowd. Can somebody tell me who wins every single Powerball?
The government.
Hey! You got it.
Our public schools. Yay!
That's a dirty twist. That's if our money that they steal from us is allocated appropriately. Little did you know it's going to gender study courses in Pakistan.
Yay! Well, I was just gonna say I didn't know how big the Powerball was. I wasn't paying attention. My dad goes, "Oh, hey, I'm just gonna go grab a ticket." I'm like, "For what? On this Sunday?" He goes, "The Powerball," and I'm like, "You're joking?" He goes, "No," and he's like, "Well, yeah, just shot in the dark," and I go, "Oh, okay." Like, no joke. Sunday, you just did this to me. And I go, I didn't know. I didn't keep up with it. I didn't know, but my dad paid the stupid tax.
But let's also agree, your dad never does it. So right now it's a phenomena. Everybody's doing it. So like for
he also just retired.
1 week,
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
He also just retired. So now he's got stuff to do.
But see, okay, so
That's
like
normal
a
Powerball
guy
behavior.
at work, he so much fantasizes about the day that he wins and he gets to walk in and flip everybody the bird and quit. It's like, okay, that can be your dream, your fantasy that you're in your head and you're just like, everybody's got their dream. Like, oh, that one guy, I just wish I could, yeah. But like, you also live in a civil world. Like he knows he's got kids and a mortgage and you can't just quit tomorrow. And the odds of you winning they're zero. Yep. They're zero. They're literally so small. It's zero. As you pointed out, if you had a business pool, like your office is pooling together and you could buy like 2 or 3 and they're in total, you're getting like 300 of them. And if everybody wins, everybody gets 1/100th of the pot. Okay. in a world where you could do the buyout and the buyout's $230 million and that $230 million gets split among everybody. Everybody gets a couple $1 million. Everybody gets to flip the bird and quit. First off, whoa, that business just went under. They got nobody. That being said, it's not going to, okay,
It's not
gonna happen. But even if it did, that world is so unlikely for you to live in a world where it's even possible is moronic. That's the stupid tax. And what makes it the stupid tax? Again, what did we just say? 1 point something billion. And I just said the buy takeaway is 230 million. You and the posse get to walk away. The whole gang, because there's 100 of you, you get 230 million apiece. And somehow Uncle Sam, who did nothing, because again, they're not even, this isn't like a federally sanctioned lottery. This is the lottery that is taxed and fostered by the government, protected by, but it's not an arm of the government. It's its own separate entity. So they just get to sit aside while this lottery does the whole creating the tickets, distributing them across the country, collecting on everything, picking the winner. And they just get to sit back and get $700 million for doing nothing. And again, we see none of it in our schools. I want to get to a point, which is why I think it could potentially be BS. Brian was bringing up to me earlier. He's like, I hope you're aware of this because he saw it as well. There's some irregularities with the Powerball. I want to see if you might have a response to it. Maybe ground me.
All right.
Get me out of the tinfoil hat.
Show me, cover my son for me.
That's it. The announcement was delayed 3 hours before someone won it. Let that sink in.
Delayed. Okay.
Right? It was delayed 3 hours before someone won it. At 11 p.m., the Powerball drawing was scheduled to be picked as normal.
Okay.
This was then delayed 3 hours due to a 2-tiered verification process error in Minnesota. At 4:59 a.m., an Idaho store clerk gets the receipt through the lotto ticket and checks the numbers on the through the lottery system, to discover on the receipt that the lottery has already been won in 7 states. That's at 4:59 a.m. At 7:25 a.m., the same store clerk goes and checks again and says that the jackpot has been won now in 4 states. And this time lists the 4 states. It says Arizona, Delaware, Florida, and Iowa. There's pictures of them on the internet. You can see, like, they have the images.
Okay.
Then fast forward to the morning news where it's announced that there is a single winner, and they are located in Oregon, which is none of the states that have been aforementioned.
Okay.
Keeping that in mind, right? So this is the current Powerball that we just experienced. In 2022, the largest Powerball jackpot of all time, over $2 billion. This drawing was delayed over 9 hours. And we got to remember that there's this 24% federal tax withholding that is at odds. But again, billions of dollars are on the line, and an electronic system is in place across various states, and it seems to run into consistent glitches. They literally have one job: check the tickets, but somehow in the middle of the night, something changes, and it almost seems like a winner is chosen rather than the winner being randomly drawn by chance, as it's fairly expected. Now, I don't want to point something else out on a federal scale, but it just seems to be convenient glitches in counting. Like just oopsie daisy, but slapping on it. It's going to this guy in Oregon. Or we're going to the dead guy in Pennsylvania. He's just going to run the country. Like, to me, it's just these convenient system glitches that we are just forced to ignore and just accept, because come on, just for the sake of effectiveness and efficiency, just let it go and go with what's close enough to best.
Well, I think let's ground your point here a little bit. So it wouldn't surprise me when the stakes get real high for these major Powerball winnings that we want to, let's make sure we have our T's crossed or I's dotted before we even announce something. Yeah, there might be rumors and murmurings when you're at the machine, but technically there's not the winner is revealed by the powers to be at the lottery. And you want to make sure that is on point, because you can't just name someone a winner and then deal with the fallout afterward if they didn't actually win. And we also when it gets real big, you're getting millions and millions of people who are buying these tickets, who are going out there, and they're there's a lot of different things going on all at the same time. Because this isn't linear. This goes exponential. Once we start seeing $1 billion, more people are like, "Oh, I'm going to play." That seems real enticing to me. So it wouldn't shock me if they just kind of hold back a second here to make sure they got their ducks in a row before they start throwing out there. That seems reasonable to me.
But let's agree what was delayed, right?
Yep.
I'm okay with the counting of your ballots, the measuring of these tickets and processing of the numbers. I'm okay with that needing time. Like if you need a delay for processing purposes, I understand it. There is one key element that just makes this curious. And it's not that the counting, right? The assessment, that part was not delayed. What was first delayed more than anything was the drawing itself, which again has been planned and on schedule this whole time. And it seems that there is a trend that when the winner comes, because we could not have had a winner. There could have been a chance that everybody bought a lottery ticket and it just keeps rolling, right? Because the 2022 one was the highest they ever had at over 2 billion. And this isn't even that. So it could have kept rolling. We could have lost and we could have been at odds for another historical biggest jackpot. But what's convenient is that the delay comes prior to the announcement, and the delay is associated with the winner. It's not that we get a delay on pulling the numbers, and it was another one off flush. See you next time. See you next month, or however off next week, however often they do it. I don't know. I'm not a degenerate. But for those that are focused, it could have easily rolled over, but the trend is showing itself that when it's delayed, it's when it's calling the winner. That to me seems like a convenient calculation, or could be.
It could be. I guess we never get like a deep dive. There's never some government agency who's I don't think the lottery's ever been called upon Congress to discuss how the whole process works. So we don't have that little bit of transparency we'd like to see to kind of quell those. But I don't that on normal, like when we talk to normies, normal people out there in the walking amongst the streets, I don't think they're real concerned about if the lottery is rigged or not. You always had the person like, it's rigged. It's always from X, Y, or Z. But I think as a whole, I think there's still a little bit of trust here in the lottery system, even if it is kind of quasi ran by the government, not really, but kind of like I even like Amtrak would be a good representation. Be like one of those like state-run casinos, something like that, like the Kansas betting one. That's like a real weird gray area with that.
No, I think that's a great way to present it. That being said, as we wrap up the point, before I get into my wrapping thoughts, I want to say what's up to Bush 1G, Don, Ricky, all the guys in the comments, because the whole purpose of the live show is to get you involved. So as we're talking about the Powerball, dump into the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. Be a part of the conversation. Be a part of the dialogue. I'm curious to think, is it that outrageous to be exclaiming that I think the Powerball is a stupid tax? So wrapping up my thought, I stand by that, because it being a 0 to none victory, not to end on a religious piece, but gambling isn't a good thing to it's just not. It's literally said in the Bible, it's not a way to live your life. I'm not a Bible thumper, but as somebody that loves gambling, it should be like anything else in my life. I love playing Fortnite. There it is. I said it. But guess what? I also have a 9-to-5 professional job that is worth bragging about, and a project I do for 8 hours outside of that every day. Okay, so I can't play Fortnite all day, every day. I'd love to. I love these. I don't know if you're familiar. It's a thing called Metal Earth. They're these little sheets of metal, and you could pop them out. They're you build metal. I don't know. I've got dragons,
it's
cars,
like a wood
vehicles.
thing
Yes.
with their metal. Yeah.
Boom. Love them. but I don't have the time like I did in college to sit there, watch a movie, and build these things. So I have collections of them unbuilt, building up that one day I'll get to them. I hope. But guess what? It may not. At the same time, I know that my priorities are straight. If by some chance a magic ball drops in my lap and I become a billionaire tomorrow, because to become Jeff Bezos, to become Elon Musk, that wasn't a tomorrow thing. I don't know if you ever saw Elon Musk 13 years younger with bald hair. No hair, just looks like a goofball. Yeah, that's before you're a billionaire, but still young. And now he looks like a $1 billion.
Yeah, he looks better now.
Bingo. So at some point, it doesn't just happen overnight. You got to just suffer. This is all suffrage, and you'll pay at the end. At least that's what should keep you running. You may never reach the goal at the end, but what should keep you running is the hope and dream that it does, because that is besides the 0.00000000001% of you becoming the luckiest human to exist, and you it's going to ruin your life. To get money that way unearned,
absolutely.
you are going to crumble. You'll be able to flip the bird and live a good moment, and then it's going to go all up your nose and down your pants, and before you know it, you're going to have nothing back because you haven't built the practices necessary to sustain something like that. But you know what? Let's live the fool's dream. Let's believe that you can make it, you can hold it, you can sustain it. Even then, it's so 0.0000000% compared to if you focus, if you just dedicate your life, everything in your being to the rethink tank will beat the JRE. If that is what you live, breathe, and die for the next decades, that is much higher than 0.0000000%. All I'm saying is, wrapping thought, if I could give you a piece of advice, if you're going to bet on anything, you bet on yourself. And I'll leave it with that.
Mic drop.
Oh, wow. Well, depending if you're a shit person, don't bet on yourself. That's probably not great advice for everybody. Also, if your life hinges on whether or not you're going to win the lottery, yeah, also do something else. Yeah, just try betting on yourself. You might have a better chance to succeed.
Thank you. Comes right back to my point. I win again.
But anyway, like the lottery, like fireworks, and a couple of these other things. It just seems like poor people can't just. I must have it. I must have it. One more thing here on the eclipse. The sun went black, sky went dark, and every single person in my neighborhood decided, you know what, I'm gonna light off a firework or two. It's just that time of day. I don't know. Drives me up a wall. These are the same people who will probably buy lottery tickets. I bet fireworks and lottery tickets. If I can just open a store that does both of those, I think I'd be doing pretty well. That's the bet I'm going to make on myself here. So
You are George Soros.
if I don't show up on Tuesday, it's because it really hit it big with that store. But yeah, this is one of the rare topics I think we're both fairly well in agreement on. I don't know if it's a grand conspiracy that they're picking winners, this, that, and the other, but definitely there is. I think there is room for malpractice here, especially if there's not some sort of major oversight. All these like, we hate the government, we hate Congress, but at the same time, boy, do we love it when people we don't like are right in front of Congress and they're just getting asked very uncomfortable questions by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I love it. This is my crack to me.
Oh, I love that too. That being said, I would like to flip it to the peanut gallery. Before I do, Taylor Ann nails it with, it's just the government's way of making money. Exactly. It's the stupid tax. That's what this is for the stupid people that want to pay an extra tax. Because don't forget, you get taxed when you make money, you get taxed when you spend money, you get taxed when you die and you give your money to somebody else. You are taxed every way, even when you lay an egg, every move you make. That being said, why don't you just sign up for the extra tax, the stupid tax? Come on down to your local 7-Eleven and pay extra. Doug, you want to give us any wrapping thoughts on our stupid tax called the Powerball?
I mean, the people that buy them all the time, even when it's at like the lowest amount, are for sure stupid and for sure paying the stupid tax. But everyone, like, when it gets to like $1 billion or more, you're like, all right, I'll buy my first ticket. I'll throw in now, and maybe you get lucky. But the people that are buying it and getting it all the time and getting it up to that $1 billion and then never win,
Yeah, who's the person? It's one thing for your dad to be like, all right, it's the phenomenon today for a week. I'm going to go out and get it. But for it to then become like you're the person that built the pot that big. When you're the person that built it to $1.5 billion because you do it every. How about this one? There's another guy that we know that won $100,000 from a scratch off.
Ooh.
It was a big deal. Gone almost instantly. He still buys scratch offs every day. You know how you get one over on the government? Like when you become to win the game of gambling addiction at your local deli. The way to win is the second you hit big. And I'm talking like 50 grand, 25 grand or more. That's it. Like, again, are you planning on spending $25,000 on this? If you did, you are done. That's a stupid tax. But if you're willing to spend over the course of how many years, like 5 to 10 grand, the second you hit like 25 grand or more, 25, 50, 75, 100 to $1 million, whatever, you must quit. And you must never play that game again in your life. Because the second you continue to play, push luck, and acknowledge that you already won over on karma. You didn't deserve this, and you hit the lottery. You got the luck. For you to then take the pot that you got, which is ahead of the government. Now I'm just speaking in plain terms. You got away. You got away like a bandit for free. You're not going in a cage. They're not putting you in a cage. You actually get to walk away. You are now every week going, and here's 5 back, and here's 5 back, and here's 5. So the guy I'm talking about, that was a decade ago. That was a decade ago. He won 100 grand. He's now given over 100 grand back into a fun little addiction that he looks at like his Starbucks coffee. Did you want to say something, or before I flip it to Brian?
No, I just it reminds me of a raffle.
Yes.
And I've never won a raffle, so
I will admit, baskets get me.
He is a raffle.
I'm the guy that leaves a golf outing with like 12 baskets.
I'm not a raffle guy. So.
I had a day. It's a good time. That's a lottery I'm willing to play, because if in the end I walk away and it still just goes to curing cancer or whatever we're at the outing for, I think I'm ahead versus Uncle Sam and his greedy little fingers.
It's also not every time you're at the golf outing or you're at a golf outing, like, well, I'm going to get the baskets here. Or I go to work, say, hey, anyone got any raffle baskets here? there's a big difference between just like an event.
Just imagine the guy that walks up and he's like, all right, there's got to be raffle baskets here, right? I'm here for the raffle baskets.
Tell me there's a 50-50.
Exactly. Thanks for watching this clip from the Rethink Tank Live. Join us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. streaming across the platforms on YouTube, Rumble, X, Twitch, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok. We do our best to promote user engagement, and we want you involved. So be sure to bring your perspective live so we can get you in the dialogue. See you then.